All right, back in the Xera show, I'm Chris, got Paul and Joe with me. And this kind of goes in tandem with our last segment. We were talking about drinking weird stuff. And I drank a Nitro Pepsi, and you guys drank a Peeps. And I'm about ready to go to the bathroom. So, thankfully, we're in our homes. We don't have a public bathroom. We just have our regular house bathrooms. But here in Ohio, public bathrooms are ranked among America's worst. According to this study, Ohioans rated their public restrooms 5.2 out of 10. And I guess officially they're the 23rd worst in the country. I don't know. Well, real quick, it's cleanliness is the issue. Dirty toilets, overflowing trash cans, the infamous bathroom odor. Ohio bathrooms take issue for lack of privacy. Where people can see different things. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. The more I think about it, I have a hard time. I have to go. When I have to go, I have to go. It doesn't matter if it's a public bathroom or a private bathroom. But the older I get, public bathrooms are kind of weird. So I don't know. I haven't been that many other states, so I don't know if Ohio is worse than other places. But public bathrooms as a whole are pretty gross.
Yeah, I think rating a 5.2 or whatever out of 10 is pretty generous.
Well, they said that they ranked 23rd out of the states.
So it's half.
That's
right?
not even halfway. Like,
well,
I don't know. I mean, they're saying it's bad, but seems like either way you're looking at this list, there's a lot that are worse.
I think we got suckered in with the headline in the press release when they say among America's worst. Well,
it's in the bottom 50. Like,
yeah,
what? That's all of them. What? That's like when I tell my kid, one of my children, I'm like, "You're one of my top 5 favorite kids." And they're like, "You only have 5 kids." I'm like, "Yeah." Welcome to me trying to be a good parent. Jeez.
Well, another example, it's like, the Steelers were 9-8. So you can say, well, they're among America's best teams because they have a winning record. I mean, come on.
They really were.
I don't know. It's rough. Have you noticed? And I don't know. We talked about this. What was it, a few weeks ago, where they were trying to rate people on how to use the bathroom. If they didn't use it right, they could get locked out of certain places. It was almost like a Uber app for using public bathrooms. But
right, yeah. I remember that now.
I don't know though. I don't know. Is there something we could do other than public bathrooms? I'm starting to really hate public bathrooms, but you have to have them, I guess. I mean, if you have to stay and you have to go, what else would you do?
Mean, but trees.
Wouldn't that be better if we just started going outside?
Your other choice is just, pull into the side of the road and opening both of the doors and stand between the 2 doors, right? Isn't that what we used to do?
Well, and since we talked a lot about bathrooms, there's a lot of callbacks. Joe, I don't think you were there that night. A couple weeks ago, Paul and I talked. Man, Paul's bringing the heavy lumber with his story ideas. Mm-hmm. He showed us a Amazon portable toilet where you can go in the portable toilet and you just dump it somewhere. And the awkward thing about it
is that just a bucket?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Well, he showed me 2 of them. There was one that was like this small tray where, good night, hopefully you don't have to go a lot or it's going to flow.
Nope, sorry.
But then, it was like a little plate tray, but it wasn't that big. I mean, there's days where, I would have overflowed that pretty easy.
The last thing you want to, and a situation you want to end up in, is having that small container and being in the middle of your work.
Oh, of course. But maybe that's the thing, because we can't always go to the the public bathroom. Do we really want to go to the public bathroom? I don't know, Paul. I'm concerned now, because a couple weeks ago I thought people who use this private bathroom are monsters, but I'm not sure about using public bathrooms anymore. I mean, I don't know what to do. I mean,
I mean, that's kind of like emergency only,
Right.
though. That's
Yeah, but all these bathrooms, man, are crazy bad. And sometimes I want to have my own toilet. Like, I worked at a TV station for a couple of weeks where I had to work in the office, had to go. When you had to go, you had to sit on the toilet. And, man, if you really thought about it, other people sat in the toilet and everything, it just, it was wild. It was a little bit crazy.
What, that you had to sit on the same toilet with the other people that you work with in your office?
Yeah, well, get this. My wife will put down toilet paper so she have to sit her butt on the same place as somebody else does. And I used to think she was like crazy for doing that, but now I'm kind of wondering, does she have a point? You know,
depending on where you are, especially in public restrooms. I mean, they'll give you the little ring, the little paper ring that you pull out and inevitably rip while you're trying to open the middle part of it. And then if there's an automatic flushing toilet, it'll automatically flush before you sit down on the paper, and then you got to get another piece of paper. Yeah.
My wife's parents' church that we got married in, they had these monster toilets that you flush it and it was like whoosh. And,
yeah, just like the old school ones that use like 12 gallons of water every time you flush it.
Those are my favorite, man. Those are great.
They'll flush everything. If you don't get up quick enough, it will rip out your insides.
Yes, definitely. Paul, you don't preach at that church, but is that we talk about how do we get new people in? Some people say, well, it's COVID, people aren't coming back to church. Do you think what we're missing is the huge 12-gallon toilets that go whoosh? I mean, I always had a soft spot in my heart for that church. Yeah, my family went there. Yeah, I got married there. But that toilet, I'm thinking about now with a big smile on my face.
The thought of the toilet outweighs the fact that you were married there.
Oh, yeah. Why not? It was brilliant. It was wonderful.
I mean, I was married there, but that toilet.
Well, I'll put this one. It didn't erase the fact. See, you're getting me in trouble now. My wife doesn't usually listen to podcasts. But
what I'm saying is that it's both.
Well, this is some of the podcast she listens to, and it sounds really horrible.
She doesn't listen to your podcast.
The fact that I got married there was awesome. Great. Top 5 of all time.
But
when I compared that to the huge gallon toilet, oh my gosh. It seemed like a benefit. It's like even better. You know what I mean?
I suppose.
Like, I'm trying to think of what to compare that to.
I'm not know if I'm interested in the comparison that you're going to come up with right now.
Well, I'm trying to get something that wouldn't get me canceled or something that would give me divorced or fired.
I appreciate that you're thinking about that, but
so say I said, man, I got tickets to Cleveland Guardians game. You guys like, oh man, we're in. So we go to the Cleveland Guardians game, and we're like, man, this is great. But what if the usher came up and said, guys, here's hamburgers on the house? And you're like, whoa, it's even better. That's how I felt at the church. Or
you get into your seat and the seat is a 12-gallon toilet.
Oh, my gosh.
So you're there watching the Guardians.
Oh, wow.
And just dropping everything you ever had.
So even better yet, so not just having the 12-gallon like toilets. And again, when I say 12-gallon, I mean the pressure.
Yeah.
You know, it just takes all out. Do we need like seats either at church or at our ball games that are like the toilet? So it's not gross like we've talked about before, where it's just like a little bucket or a little tray. What if it's like a little toilet receptacle where we're just sitting there and, you know, if you have to go, the only way that people will know is, you have the big toilet flushing sound.
And
but
you're not wearing pants.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's getting a little stanky.
Now we're the image I have of this is a little bit too Roman baths, where there's just rows of seating with holes in the seat, and you're just there doing your thing. You just hike up the toga.
All right, well, let me defend myself. Paul said,
I mean, my concern is like churches that do the shake and hug time. Like, you got to do that right away. You don't want to save that till late in the service. That's Not without like 12 gallons of hand sanitizer by every person.
Well,
So you guys,
aren't we then also concerned about lighting a candle sometime during the service?
oh yeah, that could be rough. So you guys have a shake and hug time?
No.
Like, do you say, "Hey, go ahead and shake and hug people," or like, how do you guys phrase
As
it?
an introvert, I would never
Okay,
I would never enforce that. No.
but people will hug anyway. Like, you could just say, "Hey, go greet somebody," and they're just hugging all over the place, right?
Hey,
There's still a
it's
lot of people who
biblical
like.
to greet everyone with a holy kiss. That's
Oh
all I'm
yeah.
saying.
It's usually passing the peace. It's the shake and
That's
hug.
a piece. Wow. I
Hmm.
never heard it
That's
referred to that way.
I've not heard that one either.
Goodness.
I don't know if I mind it. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
All right, so
Anyway, but back to toilets.
but back to
So-
peeing and crapping in your seat.
So Ohio
40,000 people at Progressive Field all sitting on the toilet.
all sitting on
Oh,
the toilet. Well, then something exciting happens. You're prepared.
You would almost okay. Here's the problem, and
Uh-huh.
okay, we're getting
One
Well,
problem.
I hate this because I feel like I'm going 0 to 80 here on the thing, but I think we have
Here
to
we go.
do that.
It's time.
I think there's a benefit to your seat where you can do your business. Yeah, Joe, you raise a good point. You need to wear pants. That could be another bad issue. But is there could we all wear tearaway pants? Like, so you could tear them
Like
where you
basketball
could
pants, like
dump- yeah.
or are we
just
down
pull
to
apart.
like the flap? Where
Ooh,
the flap
yes.
in the back, you can just drop that.
Yeah.
No, because mid sermon, Jed in the 8th row is going to
Oh, yeah,
stand
that's
up, rip off the pants, and pop a squat. I don't need that.
No.
Can you rip off the pants without standing up? That's a big
I mean,
question.
I can, but I'm exceptional.
Well, here's the other thing too. If you're at a ball game, naturally there's going to be talking. I mean, I guess unless it's the national anthem or whatever, you're going to have noise. The hard thing about it being in church is, like you said, Paul's up there preaching. If Jed gets up and takes a squat, I mean, you're going to hear that more. But think about it. If it's an exciting game, there's a lot of crowd noise.
If he's gassy, or
Oh,
he's
yeah.
really got to work it out, and it becomes vocal.
Because
It
if
becomes
you're
a
at a
vocal
game,
experience where
yeah, it's going to be loud enough where if somebody gets vocal, great, it's fine. But man, during a service, I mean, Paul's in his third point of the sermon, and Jed's starting to yell, "It's got to come out! It's got to come out!" It just,
yeah.
I mean, unless you want to be a Pentecostal,
Unless he's
church.
he's crying out to the Lord in
Yes.
repentance, like you want that,
Right.
but you don't need him calling out
Okay, so
in concern. Yeah.
no public bathrooms inside seats at churches. It's tough. There's quiet times and everything else. But I would think, generally speaking, would church public bathrooms be cleaner than other types of public bathrooms? I once went to an NFL game where someone literally fell into the urinal. They were so drunk afterwards.
No.
So after that, I'm like,
Was that the old municipal stadium where they had the troughs?
no, it actually was, the new Acrisure. It used to be Heinz Field. This guy wearing a Browns jacket. It was weird. I was at a Steelers Jags playoff game, and the guy literally fell in. It was just
Yeah, spontaneously.
Yeah, he was just drunk. He was
Guy
leaning
in
over,
a Browns gear was in the bathroom and he wound up in the urinal. I'm
Yeah.
not surprised by this.
Imagine that.
Was Municipal Stadium, were those really troughs? I mean, I seem to remember it was like you're peeing on the floor and there's like a little lip that separated your feet from the.
I don't know. I'm thinking of it looked like a long skinny bathtub.
Right. So to that point, all sports stadiums need to have in-seat toilets. I mean, you have to have it because people are being drunk and everything. So it's got to be a requirement. I mean, let's set the law.
I'm not sure about that.
I can imagine these stadiums. They go in the office next day.
Here's what we need.
What? Yeah.
Here's what we need.
We have to install 12 bathrooms.
All I know is that the public bathrooms that I remember in Ohio regularly being really terrible.
Okay.
I can't say that the public restrooms that I have I've been required to use in my current state and nearby states have been any better. But
generally speaking,
with the fear of being unpatriotic, European bathrooms, public restrooms are immaculate.
right.
And everything about them is 1,000% better than any American public bathroom I have ever used. Just straight up and down. Because not only it solves all of the problems, certainly cleanliness is like above and beyond, but most of the bathrooms, when you close the door, it closes so that you don't have this gap where you can literally
18-inch gap around the door.
right. The gap that's just there. And they are not a full 2 feet off the ground. So that when somebody sits on the toilet, you're literally seeing everything. That's American bathrooms. In European bathrooms, that thing goes very far down, almost to the floor, almost entirely. I think a lot of them do go all the way to the floor, but the doors actually close as well.
So do you think at how do I say this? In American bathrooms, if it's at a holier place or a more governmental place, are the bathrooms cleaner? Like McDonald's, awful.
No. Yeah, McDonald's is awful, but no.
Have you seen
the municipal buildings that I've been into? No.
And I should ask Joe this, because he could get Paul in trouble if he asks this honestly. Have you seen issues at church bathrooms that are not clean? I can't ask Paul because obviously his church is immaculate and there's no issues. But
I mean, the bathrooms at the current church that I go to, which is a fairly large church, they're very clean. It's very nice, but just the construction of the way that American public restrooms have the dividers. The dividers are too high. The doors don't cover, so there's always that gap in the middle where you can just see somebody sitting in there. It's genuinely disturbing how okay we are with this.
Well, and look at what we eat and drink. My goodness, we just had a segment talking about Peeps and Nitro Pepsi and everything. I mean, I was so backed up. I felt like I was giving birth. It was so horrible and everything. we eat and drink garbage, and like at churches, we're like, oh, we're not getting drunk all the time. That's great. Well, we may not be getting drunk, but we're drinking Peeps Pepsi and we're eating, 500 pieces of pizza. No wonder. It's tough. So,
it is tough.
I mean, I think what the difference with churches, like small churches, the reality is you're not going to have that many people using the bathroom weekly. Yeah. So it's easier to maintain. Larger churches probably have somebody on staff to care for that, and you've got, you don't have a big turnaround like Walmart. Like if you're not cleaning that every hour, it's going to be a garbage dump. Right. So you've got, even for a big church, you've got more time. So, I mean, yeah, you get retail places or gas stations and you're asking for trouble.
This terrified me. I once worked at a place, it was like a small news office, 8 people, 1 bathroom, 4 men, 4 women. And the bathroom was, probably 10 feet, long, toilet, place to wash your hands. Oh, I was terrified I was going to leave a mess in there. There's elderly ladies just in that bathroom. Can you imagine they go in, hey, what happened there?
And you just destroyed it.
Well, one destroyed it, or even, sometimes you go and maybe a drop of number 1 ends up in the bathroom and you don't catch it. And I'm like terrified, like I got to clean it each time, make sure. Because, you don't want some old lady that's grumpy to start yelling at you about that. It's awkward. So
I've, on multiple occasions, worked in places where the pressure on the toilet was such that it would spray.
Mm-hmm.
Like as the swirling action, there would be the potential for spray that would come up and get on the seat. And then somebody else would come in and complain that somebody had urinated on the seat. And that was not what was happening. It was the flushing action actually was causing a spray.
Wow.
But people would always blame somebody else for, you were just in there, you peed on the seat. Like, no, I didn't. This is what the toilet does. I don't think you understand. This toilet, the flushing action is way too strong.
I can't remember if I told this story, and I think you guys may have been in South America too, so you may know this too. Do you know South America, their pipes are so small, you can't use hardly any toilet paper.
Right.
And
yes,
my gosh, and don't mean to be gross, but if you have a huge number 2, you definitely need to use some toilet paper. Oh my gosh.
Well, we do. Americans do.
Oh, no,
did they have a bidet next to the toilet?
No. Oh,
I've been to some places where that is the expectation, that the bidet is right next to the toilet. You shouldn't be using any paper.
No. They say you put your toilet paper used in the trash.
It's like, oh, that's a bad idea.
Okay. Can I tell a story? It's 21 minutes.
I don't know. I don't know if you need to. I think you've described a scenario where the story tells itself at this point.
It's 21 minutes in. If you got this far, God bless you, because you're a good listener. I was in Peru on a missions trip, okay? The people I went to, they're like, oh, he doesn't want to eat this strange foods. And I really don't want to eat this strange food. So they take me to the Americanized versions of restaurants in Peru. Last day there, I go to Burger King. Burger King does the number on me. I mean, we've talked about some restaurants where I'm running to the bathroom. Just big number 2 session, everything else. Toilet paper is so you can't flush anything down. And I'm like, we got a problem. What do I do? And this guy is there like, oh, just throw it in the trash. I'm throwing lots of toilet paper with my gifts of Peru in the trash. And I feel bad because it's a missions, bunch of nice young people, young men, young women. And I'm just leaving going, I'm so sorry. And I just left there, went to the airport and left the country. And probably if I would stayed, I'd been kicked out of the country.
You've now been flagged. Your passport's been flagged.
Oh, yeah. No way I'm ever going to be allowed back in Peru.
But, well, the next level scenario of worldwide public bathrooms is Southeast Asia.
Ooh.
And the squatty potty.
Oh, wow.
Where there is no toilet. There is a space for you to put your feet and a hole in the ground. And you squat down and you leave what you have to leave.
I don't know why in some of those places they have it. Like, maybe it's because of the economy of the place. But South America, why are the pipes so small? Is there a law against it? So I guess in this segment, because we got another segment to end. We got to make rules here. So I think, okay, yeah, shame on me, it's gross. We can't put a toilet that you rip your pants away at stadiums and churches. That's probably not a good idea. I'm sorry I threw that out there. But maybe we should just say all bathrooms in the world, not just America, let's have at least a 12-gallon. We have a huge flush. Whatever you got goes down and it's good. So if you're pristine, you don't make a mess, good for you. If you're a slob like the three of us are who drank this garbage last segment, great. It'll help us out. Maybe that's what we need. Now, that's going to cost some money. I mean, South America's going to have to redesign their sanitation.
It's an enormous waste of water, but yeah.
But we don't need fresh water. Crappy... Yeah.
What we need is the toilets that I experienced, the urinals that I experienced for the first time. I believe it was in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Heat activated.
Ooh.
Yeah, right? So that when it was almost like a whole wall, metal wall, and when heat activated on a certain section of the wall right above it, water would release and rinse the wall.
Oh, wow.
But only in the area where the sensor had been triggered by the heat.
So you taking a dump on the wall, or
no? This is a urinal. This was a urinal.
Oh, urinal. Okay. That's to say.
You're flinging it like a monkey.
Just flinging it.
Wow.
Nope. This was a urinal, and I thought that was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. Like, this is genius.
That was in the bathroom, right?
Yeah, but it was just a whole wall. It was almost like a trough.
Oh, wow.
Because it was the whole wall, but it would sense wherever you were, so you could space out however you needed to space out. It wasn't predetermined by.
You're playing tic-tac-toe. You like aim high.
Right, exactly. Exactly. There you go.
Oh man, I don't know. So now, the more I think about my idea of having like 15-gallon bathrooms enforced across the world.
Now we're at 15 gallons.
Yeah, we're at 15
now. Gallons. Man, that day in Peru, I probably could have used a 50-gallon drum. So it's probably sky high to fix the sanitation down there, right?
Yeah.
Because if we're going to a country like Peru and it doesn't have a ton of money, we're saying, okay, you pretty much have to dig up all your pipes and create huge pipes.
Well, I mean, you're talking America probably used the same type of pipe for a while until we made our diet worse and worse and worse and wreaked havoc on public utilities until we kept replacing pipes, so that now they're enormous to handle all of our movement.
What do we do if the other country says no, though?
Bomb them.
we go to war.
I'm sorry. Have you met America?
Yeah, we fought over gas prices. I mean, come on.
Yeah, right. So,
I would fly over them and we just squatty potty over them.
There you go.
I would die for a bigger pipe to take a dump in. That'd be great. That'll be a new T-shirt.
Well, I don't know why I would die, but I think I'd send other people to die for me.
Oh yeah, that's true. You wouldn't get a chance to take a dump in. That'd be great. Oh man, that's great. Any of your thoughts about public toilets? See, we talked our way through it. I mean, at the beginning of this time,
talked our way through it. Did you think we weren't going to be able to make a half hour out of talking about toilets?
We made a half hour on everything. My favorite comment of all time was the one person who was like, how did you talk for 12 minutes about the Super Bowl shuffle? I'm like, no.
You don't understand.
Yeah,
you cut that short.
Yes. Yes.
And now Joe and I are hyped up on Peepsy, so all bets are off.
So we ain't here to cause no trouble.
Yeah.
But we're here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
We've got 40 more segments. This is great. All right. Well, we got
I'm
one more.
I'm never going to sleep tonight, ever.
I'm weird. I'm more awake, but I'm more tired. It's like my emotions are fighting, like the tired and the awake thing. It's tough.
Peepsy.
All right. Well, we got one more segment. We're talking about the top 5 bands. I'm sure we'll probably get into a bathroom talk, but hey, that's who we are. God bless you. All right. We'll be right back. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Mooney. Welcome to what is our new Hope Interrupted podcast based on the work from our book, Hope Interrupted, that I co-authored with my good friend Byron McCauley.
Hey, Jennifer, I'm looking forward to this podcast as much as I was looking forward to writing this book with you. We hope to interview some high impact folks as well as have a little fun.
We're going to cover stories of hope. To learn more about our podcast and our book, please visit www.hopeinterrupted.com.